Um, Hi, hello. I'm going to take just a minute and show you how to use FlipGrid and set it up for use in your classroom. So as you can see, I am here on the login screen, and I'm going to go ahead and hit login. It automatically logged me in because I recently logged in on this computer. If you get hung up on logging into the site or creating an account, let me know and I will happily help you out. But it's pretty similar to how it looks on most creating an account websites. You can see here that I already have some FlipGrid content going on. FlipGrid uses the terms groups and topics in order to get across two concepts. A group is a set of topics. So within your group, you might have a number of discussion boards, similarly to how within your class you would have a number of discussion boards. So we can call a group a class, and a topic is, well, a topic for discussion. So when I want to set up a new group or a new class, I will go up here to add a group. This button may move a little bit if you don't already have groups here, but I think it still will live up here. I'm going to go ahead and add a group. I can edit the theme if I want by adding a custom or a selected cover photo. I'm going to go to art and choose, I don't know, these little weird lumpy guys. They look like they're made of candy. I kind of like them. And you can see here that this is the NCC OLET account, which is listed as the lead or the instructor. That would be you. I can give it a name, so I'm going to give this the demo group name because that's what this is. As we continue adding the group, we have a few options for who is allowed to be in it. So we can start off by doing what I would most frequently recommend by saying that anyone who has your link, who also has a northampton.edu email address or a student.northampton.email address can get into it. So then when you post the link in the course, all your students have to do is sign up for a FlipGrid account using their school email address. So I'll go ahead and at northampton.edu, comma, at student.northampton.edu. And that way you don't have to manually add all your students or make adjustments if someone adds or drops your course. You can also add your students by a specific username. For instance, and actually this works in the email or domain one too, that you can use student-specific emails and only add those students to your FlipGrid. But with our college students, I tend to find it more effective to let them add themselves. This is a little bit more applicable to, for instance, a middle school classroom or a high school classroom where you might be creating accounts for your students. So I'm having put in northampton.edu and student.northampton.edu, I'm going to go ahead and create my group. You can see I now have a your group is ready notification with a link. So I could copy this link and post it in my course. I have Blackboard open in another tab. And I could either use the web link tool to, we'll call that the FlipGrid link, and send them and paste that link in there. And in my text option here, I could put whatever I wanted. In this case, I'm going to say the overall link to our FlipGrid group, because that's what it is. I don't need to attach files, open it in a window, often a good idea. Permit users to view the content, all that good stuff. Hit submit. So now there is a link here. I could also create an item and call it the FlipGrid link and do something called embedding the FlipGrid. Seem to have two FlipGrid tabs open. And I would do that by copying the embed code. And you don't need to know anything about HTML to do this. as long as you know how to open this source code option right here and just paste it in. An iframe, if you're curious, is sort of opening a window into another website and embedding that window into your website. And we're also like establishing what link we're looking at and how big the window should be. But simple copy and paste will do you if you don't want to learn HTML. And we can see our little window here. I'm going to hit submit so that we can see how that looks in Blackboard. This is how it looks when you're already signed in. In just a minute, I'm going to log back out so that you can see what it would look like to somebody not signed in. But I will also pull up some of our other options for sharing. This is Google Classroom, which is not common at Northampton. In fact, I'm not sure we use it at all. We could send it to Microsoft Teams if we wanted to. We could send it through Remind if that's something you use. Or if you were really into it, you could post it to Twitter. But what I want to do is pull up this QR code, which would allow your students to scan it using their phone. And if they were going to access FlipGrid through their phones, that would be effective as well. You can right-click it to copy the image, and I could paste that image in there. Local image paste has been disabled. Local images have been removed from pasted content. All right, so Blackboard doesn't like me doing that. I can figure out why at some point, but in the meantime, I'm going to download this, and instead of trying to copy and paste it, I am going to add, insert local files, and grab this QR code that I just downloaded. And there it is. We'll call that the FlipGrid QR code, just to make it a little bit different, and submit. So then we have the link that takes them to the group, the embed code that would take them to the group, and this QR code that if you scan it would take it to the group as well. So we've shared our group, and here it is. We can see that we have a join code up here, which is also something you can give your students, and they can go to FlipGrid and paste in their join code, and that is another way to get to it. We can now see that we have topics and a list of members, so we could see anyone else who had joined this FlipGrid. And by default, every new FlipGrid is going to start with this Hello I Am topic, and all that's doing is giving you a sample that you can certainly keep if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and create a new one just so that we start here. But if we wanted to click these three little dots, we could duplicate the topic, move it to another group, delete the topic, record our own response, things like that. And if we edited the topic by hitting the pencil button here, we could do all of the changes we're about to do by creating our own topic. So we start here. I'm going to create an introduce yourself forum because that is one of our most common uses of FlipGrid, to give students a chance to say hi and introduce themselves. We will ask them a question. So in 2 minutes or less, say hello to your class, help if I could type, classmates, and tell us a bit about yourself. I could now say, what is your name? What is your major? What is your favorite animal? And then they would be expected to respond to that. I can then down here change my recording time. Since I've said in 2 minutes or less, I'll set that to 2 minutes. Here we have the option to add a piece of media. We can either import an image, so grab an image from our computer and add it to the topic. We can record a video. So right now my webcam is busy recording this tutorial, but I could also record myself asking these questions and saying, hey, this is what I want from you. I could add a Bitmoji, a GIF, stickers. I could upload a video I already have. I could add a video from YouTube, or I could embed Bunchy, Adobe Spark, things like that. We're going to skip that because that's a bit more of an advanced feature. If it's something you're interested in, let me know and I will go into it. So for the moment, I'm going to import some media. I was making an animal-based video for our newsletter last week, so might as well grab one. Here's a fox. It's cute. And we can see we've added it to our topic. I can also take a look in my settings. I can set my topic as active, view only, or hidden. These are somewhat self-explanatory, but just in case, active means it's going, you can see it, you can respond to it. It can be view only, which means students can see it but not respond. And hidden means, well, it's hidden. We can schedule it to be available on a certain date. For instance, it's starting today and then never unavailable. But I could, for instance, start it up tomorrow, and if I wanted students to respond within a week, I could lock them out of it. I tend not to want to lock my students out of seeing things, just in case someone wants to go back and reference something. But depending on what you're doing, you may want to. We here have the option to moderate videos and comments. This would mean that you would have to look at them and approve them before they were visible. If you start having problems with students, this may be a good thing to turn on. But with college students, I like to think that we don't need this, especially if the students are the only ones who are getting into it, as they are because of the way we set up our group. We can allow video and text comments, video comments only, text comments only, or no comments. And we can choose the default caption language. Probably we want to go with English, considering our context. We can allow different elements in our replies, for instance, downloading and sharing. We might want to turn that off. We can see a view count, attachment links. This one is allowing us to allow our students to add text, drawing, photos, stickers, frames, and boards on their videos, as well as adding lenses, filters, and backdrops, and little sticky notes. These tend to be a lot of fun, and unless you're having a problem with them, I recommend keeping them on. I find that some students who may be a little bit shy in front of the camera are more comfortable recording if they can have a filter over their face or even put a little emoji over their face. As long as they're doing the assignment, giving them some accommodations in that respect, I find to be very helpful. And we can add a guest password so that if we wanted families or guests to be able to see this topic, we could let them. I'm going to keep that off for now. I find that to be, again, more useful in a younger audience if you want the parents of your students to be able to see what they've been working on, things like that. But I can also probably come up with reasons we'd want a guest in our FlipGrid in college, so there is your option if you want it. I'm going to now hit Save to Group, and we have the same pop-up about our topic being ready. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that embed code again and put that in our course. We could copy the link itself. We could grab the QR code again. Any of these that will have worked before we can do again. So here I am in my Blackboard content. I could once again create an item. Introduce yourself forum. Would help if I could spell. There we go. It's a Monday. I'm going to paste that in and save it. And here it is at our bottom, at the bottom here. We can see here that this one currently says coming soon because I set it to be available tomorrow. So that lets the students know that there is something there, but they can't see it yet. Using this QR code or this embed code technique, we can also create a discussion board. Link, introduce yourself, and paste this in here as well. And now we have a discussion forum where I can assign it points and a due date. We'll make that due next week. And Then submit. There we go. When we go to their discussion board, we have this here and can click into our embedded link here. Sometimes this gets a little bit confusing because if you click on the discussion board itself, there will be nothing there because you want them to go to FlipGrid. So that would just be something to remember to set expectations for students on and make sure they know what they're supposed to do. So that's pretty much it. I am going to briefly log out of FlipGrid and refresh this so that I can show you. So here we can see what it looks like when you aren't already logged in. Well, this one still says coming soon, but with this one, it gives us the opportunity to join with Microsoft or Google. Since we work with Outlook and are using Outlook with our Northampton email addresses, we can join with Microsoft. It's giving me my own email here, which is totally fine. It may log me in a little bit oddly because I created it in the OLET FlipGrid account, but here I am now as a student. So we currently have one topic because our other topic isn't set to be available till tomorrow. And I can go ahead and add a video. It's opening up the record screen and isn't terribly happy with me right now because my webcam is in use here, but I would be able to upload a clip, do something with only a mic. I could mirror my video, mute, record my screen. Device settings, I can choose my camera. You can see I may have kind of a lot of them here because I have a variety of uses for this. But if you have more than one webcam, you can choose it, and if you have more than one microphone, you can use it. This is my record button. I can add effects such as filters, text, pens, things like that. This is fun to play around with. I can add a backdrop, which would work similarly to how your backgrounds in Zoom work. And once you have played with that a bit, you can hit record and just go. You have the opportunity to re-record if you need to, and you'll sort of be able to approve it before you're done. So if you messed up in the middle, if a kid ran in, whatever. There's many reasons you might want to re-record. That is an opportunity available to you. So, close. And that's pretty well it. If you have additional FlipGrid questions, I'm happy to get them to you. And yeah, closing these out is occasionally awkward, but let me know if you have any more questions. And I am happy to have been able to help. Bye.